So hello everyone, it's 5:03 and I warmly welcome here all of you. I can see that some of you are already in our chat, and let me introduce myself. I'm your host today. My name is Adam, I'm a solution engineer and former Product Fruits customer. And also welcoming my co-host today, Lukáš, who's our senior content analyst.
Hello.
On the chat, sorry, Lukáš. On the chat, we have Martin and we have Amy. And yeah, I can see a lot of you. Hey, everyone. Germany, Stuttgart, Porto, Chile, Zurich. Great audience today. It's amazing to see. And so why we are here today, you might ask. We all know it. You are building a tours, and usually they work until they don't. User starts to skip them, and context can change, and now you are stuck with the maintaining multiple variants of these tours. So let's fix that together. We will go through the conceptual information here today. Why, how, and when to build the tours. How to build static tours in under 2 minutes. Then we will talk about the next level of product tours that are contextual, by default adaptive. This is something what we are aiming to. And at the end, we have the next big thing where Martin will introduce some of our near future. Also, we have some breaks during the session, so please feel free to ask your questions into the chat. Our team will be monitoring those questions, will be answering them, and we will have some of these questions answered during today's webinar. And we also had a few questions in advance from all your communication, from all your replies, and we will try to address them during the webinar as well, or you can ask them in our Q&A session after the webinar. So now Lukáš will tell us about a bit more about interesting things about the product tours. So Lukáš, it's your turn now.
Thank you. So we've been thinking how can we do some nice icebreaker at the beginning, some unusual opening. And what we did is to look into the history, how the product was actually originated, what are the key ingredients and where are they taken from in the past. And as we were looking into it and digging up various bits and pieces, we found out that actually there are a few basic principles about product tours that really started already more than 100 years ago. So when in the factories in the early 1900s, there were attempts to improve learning processes for the workers. Some of the theorists, like F.W. Taylor, came up with the idea of chunking the what has to be learned to small pieces so that it's much easier to learn. And that's one of the principles that really works with product tours even today, with all those steps that you have. Another important historic principle that's still used and that you can see every day in your tours is spacing. That came in 1950s with something called teaching machines. Those were devices for students to test their knowledge and also improve the knowledge. And the idea was there that it was taken in small steps, and students entered answer to a question that was shown, immediately got feedback whether they got it right and what's the right answer, and moved to the next step once they felt comfortable. And that's another principle that's really basis of product tours even today. Of course, then it all had to move in app. It all had to go into the computer. So that was about mid-70s with first F1, press F1 for help, and in 80s with Lotus 123 at PC, and then everybody followed the suit with that. So that's how we got into the computers. Then came the first guided tour. Who was then Apple and Macintosh, of course, in 1984, and that was the first really complete guided tour for a for a computer product, and it had a bit unusual form by today's standard. It was a audio tape that you put into your tape deck at home. You listen to it. It had more than an hour actually, and it took you through entire Macintosh and showed you the key features. Again, just as product tours do it today. And you can still listen to it actually if you would like to put something to put you into sleep in the late evening. You can find it at Internet Archive and play it back in all of its glory. And the last ingredients we needed were visuals, where IKEA is a great and famous example with their flatpack furniture, where they gradually devised a very good way to guide people through all the steps needed to reach the final goal, also with images. That's another important thing in product tours, of course. So that's what the origins are. Now, how the actual tours evolved. Some of you may still remember the first examples of in-app assistants. Those were so-called wizards and assistants. The first famous one, still remembered today, is Clippy, of course, from Microsoft in their office around 1997 introduced. And Clippy was not just the first in-app assistant that's remembered, it was also first in-app assistant that was hated and loathed by users because it was intrusive, it interrupted them, it did all those bad things that your tours shouldn't do. But of course, these first wizards and assistants, they were a fixed part of the product. You could improve your adoption only when you released new version of the software. And this was changing finally with onset of cloud applications, of software as a service, where in the browser you have this great thing that you can add a layer in front of your app and put all the guidance into it and iterate it, improve it separate from the software itself. That's a great improvement that came around 2012. And just a year later, another great thing came, no code. No code is something that allows anyone to improve and iterate those adoption tools and those product tours. And then eventually people realized a new type of product is really being born, a product that can help to sell itself or upsell itself, that can help to adopt itself. And around 2016, this got a name, product-led growth. And of course, product tours became an important ingredient of product-led growth, and they are that ingredient until today. And last piece of the puzzle that we highlighted and selected is targeting, showing the right content only to the right users, the right tours to those who may probably need it. And that came around 2020, just as came around 2020 product fruits into the market. And that's how we got to basically almost to today, to product tours that Adam will tell you more about.
Thank you, Lukáš. And to be honest, that's really interesting. In fact, that I never thought about this onboarding that is still with us since 1900s. And as I can see in the chat, there is love-hate speeches about the Clippy. This is really great that some of you still remember this. What does it mean, all these static tours? It means that we all have been here with these tours, and its biggest flaws, that one size should fit all. With the Clippy, the same thing. But there are few hiccups with this approach, because it's either too generic or too specific. You have really one big shirt which needs to fit all, like the Clippy, or to create so many Clippies to be specifically targeted to every one of each you. Yeah, and then you have so many personas you will build, which you need to build, maintain, update them regularly. And of course, the two biggest problems, again, that static tours ignores user actual progress. They are not adaptive. They might frustrate users who already knows these things, however, that they are always starting from the step one. No matter what, there are still some valid reasons for static tours to be used because of their nature. that one size fits all, which means that every user has the exactly same tour, repeatable onboarding. And these reasons are new feature tours or employee onboarding or legal reasons. Yeah, and regarding this, we had a few questions prior to this session today. For example, how to drive adoption of complex new features or how to reduce training burden and things like that. You have to combine multiple features together. Yeah, you can use checklists to chain all these tours together, the static tours and so on. You can combine them with hints and tooltips to start from different places. They might look adaptable for the users, but they are still static. However, today we are here to show you the trends for 2026 and further. And one of these trends is to make your life as administrators much easier. We want to do it, don't worry. And also, it was one of our most common questions, how to get users to value faster. So let me show you how you can build a static tour in under 2 minutes together, just by following these 4 simple steps, which we will go through during our first demo. And we will save you your time and effort, of course. These demos are pre-recorded. I will be just playing them, yeah, just to be honest with you. But all of them are happening in real life, in real time. Yeah, so it's not speeded up or anything like that. So let's jump in to create a tour. Right now, right now, we are building a new tour in product fruits. As usual, you can choose from multiple templates. You can choose start from scratch, but we want to save you time. So definitely go generate with Elvin. Open the editor. Now you are in your tool, and it's on you to define your goal, whether you want to quick overview or introduce new features. I want to show you how you can build complex tours. So let me show you introduce new features. Now you are going to select some elements. So for example, these KPI metrics or this sales pipeline, recent activities, and maybe this main menu, and hit generate. Now it will take, in fact, like 15 seconds to generate 4-step tour for you. You can review this tour and you can simply save it and publish later on. However, it's also possible for you to alter some of these things, or you can alter the whole tour. You can restart it, regenerate it. It's up to you. Yeah, so let's just go edit it, which means confirm in these terms. And now alter some titles, because I didn't like this total revenue overview. I rather like these key metrics, and maybe the main menu. I don't like the dashboard name, so change it to main menu, and maybe change the position of this card. And now just simply save it and publish it, and it's done. So now you simply created with Elvin 4-step tour. In fact, it was 1 minute and 40 seconds in real time. However, it's still static, so we will continue with this one. But for now, I will ask Lukáš, do we have some questions which needs to be addressed?
Yeah, well, there are a number of questions, like if there will be a recording of the video of the webinar. So yes, definitely we'll be sending you recording of webinar, and basically just made general comments. So I think we can move on right now.
Okay. So we will skip these clippy comments. Great. So, this brings us back to Lukáš. So Lukáš, you can continue now on.
Yeah, so basically what Adam showed you is the latest iteration of the traditional take on product tours and on digital adoption. Now, of course, things are changing, and there is a huge shift on the market happening, with product tours and whole digital adoption changing significantly, moving towards a contextual approach, where you provide the guidance to the users in the context of what he's doing and where he is in the app at the moment. You want to do it really in real time, to reduce the learning curve and to improve how he receives it. So the idea is to do everything on demand, to not just create or use fixed pre-created tours, but create tours just for the individual users at the individual moments when they need them. And all of this is possible because of the AI, of course, not just AI-assisted creation, as Adam was showing in the first demo, but also AI-assisted delivery. So basically using AI solutions to provide these contextual and on-demand product tours to create something we call adaptive product tours. This is something that really meets all these parameters, and we were happy to see that this is also, for example, how analysts like Gartner see the market going forward, and what they mention in their reports. The recent one, for example, from fall of the last year. Adam, I think back to you.
Okay, thank you, Lukáš. Let's adapt now. Yeah, I have one familiar quote, or maybe familiar. Leonardo allegedly said, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication." In fact, sophistication in product tours means to be adaptive, adapts to user behavior and context. And what I can see in the chat that you are addressing all these CSS selectors and dynamic CSS selectors and things like that, which can break your tours. We will address that definitely, because with Elvin you can simply achieve these even better results than we did in these 2 minutes prior. You can do it with one setup at the beginning. You can guide users from where they are. No more start from step 1 when the user is already on step 4 by his thinking, for example. No more personas needed. Elvin will adapt in real life to all of these. And how is this possible? Thanks to our annotations. It's like auto subtitles for your app by Elvin. What does it mean, auto subtitles? It's thanks to AI, and because you are just guiding Elvin through your system, and Elvin is come up with the subtitles, with the description of what your system looks like, and he can use all this information. He can read these subtitles to understand your application and guide the users. And what's the benefit for the users except the guiding? They will get help at the right moment and on the right place. Yeah, so it's contextual, it's adaptive. And this is also related to the question from the start, how to reduce training burden, which we discussed in static tours. Because I mentioned already there that you can accompany static tours with the adaptive tours. Yeah, you can create the static tours which will guide all the users the same way. However, afterwards, when they will have questions, they shouldn't start the same way. They will all have different questions, so the adaptive tours should address this. So, let's create some subtitles and see them in real action. Again, we have this video in here, this recording. And we will start annotate this leaflet CRM, as many of you know this system. So let's ask Elvin how we can get into the annotation, how we can get information about the HubSpot, for example. Right now, I started to annotate this main menu, the settings. And as you can see, Elvin just come up with the information, with the description. I didn't provide anything. I didn't put there any comment, nothing. This is everything come up from AI, from the Elvin. And when I'm happy with this, I can definitely alter this information. When I'm happy, I can start annotate hierarchically inside this settings page. So I can just simply click and forget about these steps in here. And you can see that Elvin is again coming up with some description for these tabs, to understand them, to be able to understand when user will ask, what are the integrations, where I can find the HubSpot integration, where I can find HubSpot or something like that. He knows, okay, user is probably talking about the integration. So now let's move on to the level 3, which are inside integrations, and just simply again click show to the Elvin, annotate these items in here, and again Elvin will come up with the description for HubSpot. You can see there says HubSpot premium integration. He understands it because on the picture you can see there is a premium and there is also upgrade to connect. So he knows it. He sees the context of everything in here. Now I can just simply publish it and start to ask Elvin, show me the guided walkthrough how to connect to HubSpot. And Elvin, and as I mentioned before, this is happening in real time. It's not speeded up. Yeah. So he thinks a little bit because he wants to provide you the best answer, the best option, how to get there. You can see he already provided short description for these steps, how to get there, if you still want to read it. However, I'm not a reader person. I want to see it in real life. So I want to be guided. Yeah, and as you can see, it was just 3 simple steps. He pointed to the settings, integrations, and now he underlined the HubSpot. So this is the way how it can be dynamically created, adaptive. And when I'm talking to you, adaptive, and we spoke before about these static tours, which started always on the step 1, the Elvin will adapt to my position on the page. So now, when I will start the same tour for the Elvin, and however, I'm inside of the settings page, Elvin will show me and start me from the step 2, because he knows I'm in the settings. So he will skip the first step, which was go to the settings, because you are already in the settings. So go to the integrations, and here in the integrations you have the HubSpot. But this looks okay. So now let's change to different place. Go to the leads, and as you can see, Elvin is again guiding me towards to the settings, because he knows I'm not in the settings page. So this means really adaptive for me, for the user, because I can ask from the dashboard, Nancy can ask from the settings, Ian can ask from the accounts, yeah, and every one of you can ask from different place, but Elvin will be able to serve you all. So we saw how to do it really quickly. The whole demo, whole video was 2 minutes. In fact, I just paused it. So it was like 5 minutes. But before we will go further, I will ask Lukáš if we have more questions.
So there was a question that might be relevant because you were talking about it, and maybe you can give more details on it. Is it possible to build a tour with Elvin AI between different URLs?
If they are in the same domain name, like the company1.productfruits, company2.productfruits, then yes. If there are 2 different URLs, then no, right now. But we are trying to come up with the solution also for this. And this reminds me the question regarding this dynamic CSS selectors. I just want to mention that Elvin is much more capable of finding everything on the page right now. with these descriptions which he created for the application, the subtitles, let's say, he come up with some fingerprints. So he knows the position on the page, he knows the elements around and things like that. So he's trying to fix these dynamic CSS elements. He is not relying on them anymore. And we have something for the future where Elvin will be self-healingly trying to come up with some fixing for the broken CSS selectors, broken URLs and things like that. Yeah, so this is something what we are working on, but later on we will tell you a little bit more about it from our head of product, Martin. So any more question, Lukáš?
Well, I have some ready, but let's move on and keep them for the final longer Q&A session.
Okay. So now when you saw it already, you probably think that's a nice gimmick, but in our real use case, it will have so many flaws we cannot use it. So let me show you those who already made this shift. I'm proud that I can present you some of our customers, of course, with their approval. I saw some of them here in the chat. So hello, Ian, who already using Elvin adaptive guidance in real applications. And it's really working based on the testimonials that they provided to us. But let's put it in the numbers, in the context. We have right now over 200 customers undergoing testing of these. We already have more than 100 customers who has Elvin in production, yeah, also with this guidance. And in fact, we have average support ticket decrease by 64.56%. In fact, for example, for us, when we are using Elvin personally in our administration, decrease for the ticket creation was almost 70%. I think it was 69 point something. Yeah, so 69% of the questions from the users can be answered by the Elvin, and these questions are not transferred to the human. So it's really, really important to see it in the context of this. And what will be these next breakthrough moments? So let me invite on stage our head of product, Martin, and he will tell you about our future.
So hello everybody, here's Martin, head of product here, and thank you Adam and Lukáš for amazing webinar. And I want to start with my favorite sentence, this is just beginning. So as you saw over the past weeks, days and months, we have been releasing a lot of stuff, and we will not plan to stop, right? So we're not stopping. we're just getting started. So a lot of exciting stuff, and that's the reason we are on this screen. What is coming next? So this is just first series of the webinars, but there'll be much more, as you see on your screens, when we will present you how we understand the future of product fruits, because we are not just digital adoption. We are not just about onboarding, right? We are about like layer between you and your end users, where there is a lot of interesting stuff happening, which we want to inform you about and give you a lot of actionable insights as well, and become something a little bit more there. And we will present you the couple of new concepts, but mainly products, and basically all of them are quite unique in our space. Okay, there's no competition which have them at this form or shape, and we would like to show them to you. So in the next webinars, what you can expect, as you can see from left to right, is discoveries and outcomes. This is how we will envision transforming surveys to something much more, something which is much more closer to actually user research than the surveys. So you will just define your business goal, Elvin will help you as admins define which goals and which topics you should validate with your end users. And then another Elvin instance will actually ask and have the discussion with your end users to find out and go deeper to their motivation and the problems. And of course, out of it, you'll get like a couple pages of report with the numbers, implications, and recommendation what to do. So this is quite cool stuff, and it makes also Elvin a little bit more proactive. So this is the first one. The second one is flows. I think a lot of you is waiting for the flows, right? Flows are basically our take on the next version of tour editor or tours. Because as Adam presented, tours are great. Static tours are still useful to a certain extent, but they have gaps, right? So the flows are something which is a little bit more advanced. It allows you actually to create not just cards, but it can, you can branch the tour, you can other AI nudges and also hand over some tasks to Elvin within the flow. You can also include the communication via email, etc. in the future. And much more. So it's a little bit really like a flow. It's not just a tour. You can combine multiple flows together, etc. So you can keep it simple if you want, but you can also go a little bit more wild in matter of modeling your business flows and integrate the AI as much as you want or don't want. So it's much more interactive, much more smart. And what I want to mention regarding the flows as well, the second bracket there, second webinar actually, when we will introduce it also, is that as Adam mentioned, we are also thinking about you who are heavy users of the flows. So it won't be just a beautiful and nice, but it will be also functional. So there'll be those new selectors which are AI driven. So basically, when you select some element, and actually Nancy mentioned it here in the chat, is that there's a lot of problems if you update your application. What will happen with the tour, right? In most cases, it will break, right? But we want to fix it. So we basically coming with the new selectors, which will intelligently choose based on the semantic of the page and the content of the page, not just the technicalities. So it's very smart. Nobody has that right now, and it should fix a lot of troubles there. So a lot of cool stuff regarding to this and templating and customization. So I'm looking forward to introduce it to you. And the last one is Elvin Vision, which is our take on really future. We already actually have Elvin Vision in pilot. So it's not just the vision, right? It's not just on the paper. We already testing with a couple of clients. Actually, you some of them saw on this previous slide Adam presented, and it's basically next stage, right? All of this is just card based and some communication and some models and pop-ups and all that stuff. But we believe that the future is bright in sense of the communication, like human-like interaction. So simply enough, your end users will sit to the computer and start to speak with the Elvin, not just write but speak. And Elvin will see the screen and can help them through their onboarding journey. So and help them to understand the application better, show them some stuff on the screen, as you can see, highlight elements, etc. So it's much more interactive, much more natural learning, let's say. But of course, we're thinking about the guardrails and sharing. You'll be able to share your goals with the Elvin, and Elvin will follow them for each segment of the user, etc. So there'll be those still advanced features, and all of those products which you see in front of you are interlinked, right? So simply enough, those are not individual products, they will play together, right? So Elvin will be able to trigger discussion and a voice discussion with your end users. Elvin will be also able, based on your goals, generate a dynamic flow and suggest the flow. So this is not just individual products, they are interlinked products. So our vision is that ultimately, after this is done, just share with the Elvin your pain points, and it will help you and guide you to the journey, suggest what to do, create those user researches, and create flows for you. And of course, you will steer it, define strategy and guardrails, right? But this is what we basically have for you for upcoming weeks. So this is just the beginning. So stay tuned. And after each of those sessions, you will have something to play with, right? So our goal is that not just speak about it, but have at least for early access or pilot to say, hey, play with it, try it, give us your feedback. So it won't be just theoretical, right? So we will show you the real stuff, and we will also give you something to sign in and play with. So you can already get a sense where we're heading, and soon it will be in production. So yeah, a lot of stuff ahead of us. And this is not everything. So yeah, looking forward to it, and maybe I just get the word back to Adam, and share your thoughts in the chat. Let us know questions. We will reply to them. And yeah, looking forward to this.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin. This is great. This is amazing. And during your speech, I was checking the chat, and a lot of questions regarding all of these functionalities. As I mentioned, we will be able to a lot of them address and solve them for you. So really, stay tuned for much more. But before the questions. What you should remember as key takeaways from today, from these 3 points. Static tours are friends. They are still valid for some kind of user onboarding where the regularity needs to be. Yeah, build them, use them in your use cases where they need to be. However, build them smartly. Build them with Elvin in under 2 minutes. And then you can alter them a little bit, and you have really, from the simple to really complex tours, you can change the pages and so on. So everything can be addressed in here. Adaptive tours. This is what you should get from this webinar today. This is 2026 and further. This is the new standard for your products to know where your users are and help them. Address their needs, check their progress, and understand to your users. And digital adoption platforms are changing to be AI powered. However, to be honest, we are one of the leading in this industry. We are the one with AI onboarding, which no one else has. So stick with us and be part of these great things that will come soon. And basically, before we will start answering your questions, I want to encourage to all of you to book a call with me to have some strategy and best practice and see real demo live possibilities and discussions together. I saw so many great questions. I saw also some of our not the advisors, but evangelists. Yeah? I saw Nancy, I saw Ian, I saw so many of you. Thank you for this, and I'm glad that we are helping you. And of course, if you will have some problems with implementation or technical questions, do not hesitate to book a call with Amy and her amazing team of our technical support. And as everyone says, we have the best tech support in industry in here. So here you have these two QR codes and bit.ly codes, so you can follow them to book a call with us. And now I will ask Lukáš to switch to your questions from the chat.
Yeah, thank you. I have questions from the chat, and I also picked a few questions that you were sending when you were registering for the event. We had a couple of people asking some questions and struggle points. So maybe I'll start with that, because that might take us back to the static tours for a moment. What's the best way to drive adoption for complex and new features, Adam?
Yeah, as I mentioned during the webinar, when you are building static tours, you can combine them together. You can combine them with the hints. You can combine them into checklists. You can combine them with custom events to be triggered when user do some action in your system. So it's really only about the combination of the static flows. When you put them together in the right way, you can look, or these static tours or static features can look really dynamic. So it's about only about the combination.
Great. Few more questions I collected that might be easy to answer actually, but I think they are important and should be picked and put out to all audience. First, how do we get access to annotations? So how easy it is? I guess it's very easy.
It's very easy. You need to go through me. But yeah, there is a button, book a call, and this button has its own reason because when we introduced annotations, many customers were so greedy to go there and try it, and because it was so new, it looked great, amazing, and then they come back to us, hey, this is not working. But we found out that the expectations and the building itself was a little bit different. Yeah, so we start to learn you and showing to you how to really do it properly. We have video introduction there, and when you will contact us, we can enable it for you. That's for sure. Yeah, without even call with me. Just tell us, okay, I went through the video, I went through the article about the annotations. I'm willing to try it, and I want to try it by myself. When I will need help, I will come back to you, and we will do it. But if you want to see it in real action, how to do it properly, just book a call with me.
Great. Another question that I think is quite relevant for many who are attending is, do you need to be using the knowledge base in product freeze to make this work? The question goes on, we never implemented that because we had trouble securing it. So how is it? Do you need a knowledge base for annotations to work?
In fact, you don't. Because annotations itself, they are building the knowledge base for the Elvin. Yeah, and we have so many great plans for the future based on these annotations to build a knowledge base for you or hints for you, and so on and so on. Everything is somewhere on our roadmap. We are not presenting everything for you right now, but so therefore you don't need to use any knowledge base for the annotations. You need to have the knowledge base for the Elvin when you are in the chat mode, but not for the annotations, not for the guidance.
Another quick and clear one from one of the attendants of the webinar. If I change my UI, do I have to label it again?
Well, it depends how drastically you will change it. If you will alter some small tweaks, features, colors, and things like that. But if you will change it completely, if you will change the menus, buttons, and so on, then probably yes.
Also, maybe if they add new features to the product, they need to add annotations for them, of course.
Yeah, definitely. When you will add new features, Elvin is not going through the pages and looking for new features. As you saw, I need to show him, hey, there is this button, there is this tab, there is this main menu item, and he can describe them, he can label them, but he does not know if it's new, old, or just forgotten feature.
One more that goes to the static tours for a moment, Adam. What are the possibilities? That's from the questions before the webinar that we received. What are the possibilities of more advanced conditioning logic? For example, like A and B or C?
Yeah, I think this was answered by Martin with the flows, because flows will be enablement for you to create these logic, to choose whether user decided to go this way or that way, if he did and complain with this condition, true, false, and things like that. So everything will be possible in the flows. So please stick with us.
Okay, one question related to flows. I don't know if you or Martin will take this. If users will be able to use flows to edit existing tours.
Yeah, so I can take it, Adam, this one, and thank you for the question. Yeah, the flows are just basically, it's possible. So simple enough, in the flows, you can also incorporate to call other products. So the tours, so you can flow, you can call flow, you can flow tour, you can flow announcement, you can call banner. So you can call also API action. Okay, and you can also update from the flow the user property and other like advanced stuff. So it will be pretty flexible. I think you like it.
Okay, thank you. And maybe Lucas, before you will jump to another question, I just noticed in the chat one of the questions that my calendar is not available in the United States of time. We are based in Czech Republic in Europe. However, please send me the email send me the email, and we will try to arrange some time which will fit to you and fit to me as well.
Yeah, I think definitely what we can do is these evening times from our perspective, which would be like morning, early morning, or before the noon times for US time zones. So at least that we can do. Now we have a couple of questions on a similar topic, and I don't know if it's for you, Adam, or for Martin. So it's up to you to steer this. And that's, we already have a chatbot on our page. So can we use adaptive tours if there is another chatbot? And another similar questions were there multiple times, I believe.
Definitely you can use them. Yeah, but there might be some consequences and some hiccups. However, they are still possible to connect these chats together into one of the chat, one button, which will be driven by our Elvin. From the Elvin, then you can ask your chatbot for some advanced actions or for some questions. This is for sure. Yeah, but not the other hand right now.
And what about integration when you have, for example, an AI assistant that's doing a different type of job? There is an example. We have a system that's helping do work on behalf of the user or answering questions about the data. How about these integrations?
That's great. That's a great question because, in fact, Elvin can connect to third-party services through REST API, so he can answer user question about the data, for example, in the warehouse, or some parts or some data from the invoicing systems, ERP system, CRM system, and so on. Everything can be addressed from inside the Elvin. And Elvin can serve this customer, can provide the answer. Yeah, so there are ways how to interconnect them. Yes.
Okay. Another question that's of the similar sort, actually. About the Elvin's functionality. So would it be, for example, possible to display a pop-up from Elvin during tour? Some features like this are for cross-sell capabilities, for example, and integrating them into Elvin.
Yeah, this one will be mainly towards the flows, because in flows you will be able to define now start Elvin, or when Elvin will provide this answer, do some of these things, for example, display banner or display pop-up or something like that. Yeah, so if you will integrate this into the flow, then you will be able to do it. However, for the time being, there is no plans to have some button or based on some actions inside Elvin trigger pop-up or banner or something like that. So with the flows, you will be able to do it.
Great. Another simple question that popped up just a moment ago. It was answered in the chat, but I think we should bring it up here as well. Is we have branded assistant. Can we rename Elvin? I think that's easy. Yes.
Yes, you can change the Elvin's name, you can change the personality, he or she, you can change the voice and tone, how he speaks to the customers, and we're working on things like where you can describe the vocabulary for Elvin, like, hey, invoice is always invoice, it's never bill, yeah, and things like that. So Elvin will listen to you.
Yeah. Question that would go to our sales, but we don't have them on the panel. So to you, Adam, what plans is available Elvin in?
Elvin is in fact in all the plans which we have. There are just limitations for the amount of conversations for the Elvin. Yeah, there are some free conversations, the same way as we are right now doing, where we are communicating, answering the questions and so on. And after this call, we can consider this as one conversation, and this can be addressed to the billing. Yeah, so all the plans are compliant with the Elvin, and the details are on the pricing side.
And of course, for larger volumes of conversations with the enterprise plan, you can basically negotiate your lots much larger, so that you have some safe net that you know you'll be probably covered by that.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just looking if there is something else. There is question more about pricing, but I don't think we don't want to go into pricing here in detail. Maybe something technical. Maybe if you have noticed, Martin, Adam, if you've noticed something that's worth picking up, just do it. I'm looking into my notes. Yeah. One that goes again probably back to the static tours, and that's also from those that we got before the webinar. If there will be many other, we could maybe move to the wrap up slowly. How do I make tours more personalized in general in Product Fruits?
Well, pardon. Well, in Product Fruits, you can insert or you can upload about your users' data. Yeah, you can learn you can teach Product Fruits that this user is Adam, first name, last name Trnka. He's in this role. He's located on this position. He's using this car brand, and so on and so on. So all this information then can be used for personalization. Yeah, you can use these values inside all these banners, pop-ups, tours, to make them really personal for every user. Yeah, so when you will start creating new tours, don't create the tour like welcome user or welcome all the users or something like that. Just really, hey, welcome Adam, let me show you something. Yeah, so use all these user properties and custom user properties which you can upload to Product Fruits to customize the onboarding. And by the way, when you will do it, Elvin can use them as well. Yeah, so he will know everything what you will upload about the user. So he will be again much more personalized for the user. Yeah, and with the tone, it's really win-win situation in here. And right now it addressed one question which I noticed before. In our chat, somebody mentioned that they would appreciate some deeper analytics. So with the flows, we are working on definitely much deeper, detailed analytics for this, for all these touch points between the user and Product Fruits and your application. So stay tuned with this. Lukáš?
Yeah, I'd like to not question, but I'd like to read one of the comments because I really think that it should be brought up. It's from Ian from TWG, and he or she wrote, "We have a customer evaluating our product this week, and one user had 38 conversations with Elvin, and he gave better user guidance that I could have done in some cases." So this is something we are sometimes also seeing, even with our own platform, right, Adam?
Yeah, this is definitely, and thank you, Anne, for that. This is one of the greatest example because I was on the beginning of implementation of Product Fruits with Ian, with Elvin, and yeah, there were some hiccups because it's a really complex, complicated structure, their application, and it's really great at the end how it comes. Yeah, so it's really great to see all these comments.
Yeah, there are now a number of very specific questions, like for example, can you group users by companies in user list and things like that. We'll definitely answer all of those either in chat, or if we don't cover it in the chat, we'll send you the answers afterwards, so that maybe you can be sure you'll be answered. Actually, Adam, what would we say as a wrap up? So.
Yeah, basically, as the wrap up, you have the three takeaways. Static tours are still valid. However, if you want to make for user the content contextualized or adaptive, you should definitely try our Elvin, and we are here to help you with. And as Lukáš mentioned just now, all the questions. We will categorize them. We will answer them in the follow-up emails, where we will also send you the link to this webinar and for the recording of this webinar. So
thank you, Adam. I'll just add that there was a Katrina thinking for this webinar. Thank you all. Thank you joining. Please understand this still just as an intro, right? So as you saw previously, there's like much more webinars coming, which will be even more specific, new product introductions, new demos, and early accesses introductions. So something you can play with. So stay tuned. We will inform you in app, and you can sign into the next webinars very soon. Provide any feedback, anything which you liked, which you didn't like. And yeah, as Adam and our amazing tech support are here, feel free to book any calls, anything which you need from implementation, questions, some clarifications, go for it. Don't worry about it. And we will have the US slots. Don't worry. Sorry about that. So thank you. And thank you, Adam, Lukáš.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it really well, and see you soon on the upcoming webinars. We'll send you invitations for those, of course.